You know, I'm not one to care about my looks too much, but my hair, it looks really funny. I need a haircut. Anyways, I'm just gonna keep it like this the whole time because I think it's hilarious. But anyways, um, so Megan came out, and the only reason I watched this movie was because I'm like, well, I gotta see at least like one movie this month, right? And nothing else this month looks very interesting to me. So I was like, yeah, sure, Megan, why not? I'll see it. Um, so I saw the trailer and I thought it looked laughable, and I was like, this is gonna be the worst movie ever. I'll see it because it looks pretty funny. And then it comes out and it has like a 90 or something on Rotten Tomatoes. And when I first saw it, I saw it on like Instagram, so I thought, oh, this is like when Morbius came out and people were giving it like 200%, saying Morbius sweep. But no, it wasn't. It was real. Like I go on the real Rotten Tomatoes website and they're like, this is a great movie. It's campy and it knows it's campy. It's great. Go watch it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, you know, maybe it's a, I don't know, maybe it's an actually good film. So I watched it, and it's not. I'm sorry. I don't like this movie. I did not like this movie. I just want to get that out of the way right now. I didn't really enjoy it. I was honestly mostly bored throughout it, and let's just get into why. So this movie is a horror comedy, but I didn't see it that way because it takes itself way too seriously to be a comedy to me. Like the premise of the movie is this little girl, like the movie starts out with this little girl watching both of her parents die. Like that's not funny at all. You know, like you know what I mean? Her parents die and she's like acting out and she's sad and she's given to her aunt who is not like fit to take care of a child. And you're like, this is not funny, but it's also not done well enough for me to really care. You know what I mean? So it's not really working on any level. You know, I this whole movie I okay, so the premise of the movie, this girl, her parents die, and then her aunt's like, well, I need to give her a friend, so I'm gonna make this doll named Megan who can like take care of her and be like a caretaker for her in a way. You know what I mean? And that's a fun idea. You can make a great movie out of that. But you know, of course, the doll will, you know, protect her at any cost, and she kills people and blah 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 blah. But you know, the thing is, this movie, like, okay, I get the sense this movie knows that the premise, like, the setup is kind of goofy. Like, the movie knows that, especially in the third act. This movie knows, like, okay, we're not making like a Hereditary here. You know what I mean? This is fucking Megan. You know what I mean? We're not making an A24 like art house thing. You know, that I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, this movie wants to be it does want to be a fun like gore like slasher, I guess, but it takes itself really seriously. Like it really just it tries to tell this story about how like technology can like take over our children or whatever. And I will admit, some parts of it I thought it did well. Like I liked how the little girl main character or whatever, she was like, oh well, you know, Megan is good for me, but you know, she's a kid. You know what I mean? Megan is just telling her what she wants to hear, and that's not always good for a child. Not that I'm a parent, not that I would know, but you know, at the same time, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how. This is like a hard movie for me to review because I just don't know how to explain why I didn't like it. Um, I guess number one, you can tell, or at least I could tell watching this movie that like it was originally made to be R-rated, but at the last second, like in the editing room, they were like, "No, let's make it PG-13 so that we can sell it to more people." Blah blah blah. You can really tell because every kill scene feels like they like cut out a good like 10 seconds out of it. You know what I mean? Like every kill scene just kind of ends very abruptly, and I just felt this whole movie like there was a good 20 minutes they just took out. You know, every kill is very like boring, you know, and I'm not saying I need like an over the top like Friday the 13th slasher kill, but like none of them were like that interesting. So, and none of it was scary. And I'm the easiest person of all time to scare. Literally, like I get scared every day at work when my coworker comes up behind me and I turn around. I'm like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were there." Like I am an absolute coward in real life. So when you can't scare, like every horror movie, even like bad ones, like they manage to scare me sometimes. I was bored throughout this. Like I was just bored. I didn't find myself like throughout this whole movie. I thought to myself like, wow, I really don't care what happens to this family. I really don't care. Like, they could all die, they could all live happily ever after. Either way, it's not going to change my life. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's not goofy enough to be a comedy. It's not goofy enough to be like a goofy slasher movie. You know what I mean? Like, it takes itself too seriously, but it's not scary enough or like enthralling enough for me to actually care about it as a story or a horror movie. So this movie just doesn't really work on either level for me. The actual M3GAN character herself, she was fine, I guess. There was nothing about her that I haven't seen before, you know. Oh, she's an AI who will do anything to protect her master or whatever. Wow. I saw that in a Rick and Morty episode and it was done better there. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this movie's not terrible. It's not a terrible movie. I just don't really have much to say about it, honestly. I wouldn't really recommend it. I think I'm just finding out, like, I'm discovering something about myself, which is I don't like horror movies. Because unless it's like some weird fucking art house thing like Midsummer or something, I don't really enjoy them. Because I feel like it is the most repetitive genre of film out there. At least the ones I've seen. Maybe I just haven't seen enough fucking horror movies. But like, I just feel like I'm just seeing the same thing done over and over and over again. You know, and I'm getting tired of it. I'm like, if you're gonna release a horror movie, I'm not saying you have to reinvent the wheel, but just do something that I haven't seen before. Everything in this movie is so predictable and safe and boring. Like, every single scene, literally every single scene, I thought to myself, okay, here's how this scene is gonna end. And every single time I was right. Every single time. And some of it just doesn't even make sense. Like, okay, minor spoilers, but near the end of the movie, M3GAN kills somebody, but before she does it, she's like, okay, we're gonna make it look like you did it. Like, she tries to frame it as if this guy killed this other guy when really she killed him. But then she kills him, and she just walks out, and it's like, what was the point of that? Like, what was she trying to accomplish there? She just killed him anyways, and everyone knows that M3GAN did it. So what was even the point of that scene where she's like, okay, you did this, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I just don't understand what the point of that was. And, okay, spoilers, I guess, for M3GAN, like you care. I'm sorry, I'm being really cranky. But, like, at the end of the movie, the third act of the movie, I will admit, it was the most entertaining part of the movie. It was the only part of the movie where I'm like, okay, cool, this movie's actually living up to its premise. It's just M3GAN killing people and dancing, and I thought it was funny. Yeah, I mean, she's about to kill Allison Williams, and then and then the daughter brings up this, like, you ever seen the movie Real Steel? It was like that. She, like, brings up this other robot named Bruce, and then Bruce and M3GAN start fighting, and then he tears M3GAN apart, and he tears off her face, and he throws her. And then I was like, okay, this is kind of funny. Like, this is dumb, but I enjoy it. And then the movie ends like how every other horror movie ever made ends, where everything seems okay and the police show up. Watch like 5 horror movies in a row, and I guarantee you at least 3 of them will end with like the police showing up and everybody in a blanket smiling like, yeah. But then in the background we see, oh my god, is M3GAN still alive? Her soul is still out there. Guys, I'm so excited for M3GAN's revenge. It's gonna be so great. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I really don't. I don't know. I just didn't like this movie. It wasn't goofy enough to be a comedy. It wasn't scary enough to be a horror movie. I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't really, like, I just didn't care about the story. I didn't feel any emotion. The only time I kind of got into it was the end, because I felt like it kind of got goofy. Like, I was like, oh, this is fun. But I don't know. It just felt like a movie that was really confused as to what it wanted to be. When people tell me, like, this is a horror comedy, I'm like, I get the sense that they want to be, but they don't have the confidence enough. Like, the movie just doesn't have the confidence in itself to just fully go, like, just crazy. You know what I mean? This movie, like, a movie like this should just go crazy. Like, you can do anything. Just do whatever. Have M3GAN, like, I don't know, like, kill, like, an entire, like, baseball field or something. You know what I mean? Like, just have M3GAN do, like, some crazy... Have M3GAN get arrested and go to prison, and then break out of prison, killing, like, all the guards. Something. I don't know. Just go crazy. You can do whatever you want with this. I don't know. I was just bored. I didn't care. It's not a terrible movie. I just felt like it was so boring and bland. It didn't live up to its potential. I just felt like it didn't... It just didn't do anything for me, unfortunately. Would I recommend it? Eh... If the trailer looks interesting to you, sure, you'll probably like it more than I do. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie, I would say. I would just say it's very bland for me. Like, I just felt like the whole time I was like, this is like eating white rice. It's competently made, it's fine, but, you know, if it was between this and something else, like a good steak, I'm gonna pick the steak, you know what I mean? If it was between this... Or, I don't know, Pearl. I'm going to pick Pearl. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm going to give this movie, it's not... I don't even know. A bland out of 10. I'm going to give it a bland out of 10. How about that? That works. Sure. I had fun because I saw it with friends. That was fun. I like hanging out with my friends. The actual movie, though, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, go see it. Don't go see it. I don't know. I'll see you later when I talk about that Last of Us show.